Carron, preparations are being made and the hard-working volunteers on the organising committee are having their final meeting before the first Michael Cusack Day on Sunday.
Well, he was born right here in this thatched cottage, a humble abode, like our Lord maybe, but in terrible conditions, terrible times, the middle of the famine. He was a brilliant youngster. Went to school in his own time, not very early, but was a brilliant pupil and was recognised so by the master in Carron. And in time then, because of his ability, he put him in for a scholarship, and he won that scholarship, and he went to Inaugural. I think it was run by Quakers, of teacher training and so on and that. And from that he went to Dublin and finished his final year training in Dublin, where now stands the Department of Education, believe it or not.
Michael Cusack was an idealistic nationalist and teacher who went on to set up his own civil service academy and became very actively involved in the revival of the Irish language and the Gaelic League. He also placed a high value on athleticism, was national shot put champion and played sports of all kinds.
He played cricket, he played rugby, he played rounders. He was an all-round man. He was, I suppose every genus has a strange side to them. But I mean, to think of the man who founded the GAA was involved in cricket and rugby and rounders, sure, just kind of unbelievable. But he was an unbelievable man.
A sportsman, an educator, and heavily involved in all of the movements at the time. We talked about three pillars behind Cusack, the language, the history, and the national pastimes, hurling especially. And he saw the need for the establishment of an association to promote the national pastimes. And he, in conjunction with Davin and others, had that famous meeting in Hayes Hotel in Thurles on the 1st of November 1884. And who thought where it would lead to, you know, over 130 years later, and the wonderful organisation we have worldwide now. So really, Cusack was the bunahore, or the founder, and the driving force behind the whole movement.
However, Michael subsequently had a falling out with GAA patron Archbishop Croke, and he was dismissed from the organisation he had founded. But his love for Gaelic Games persisted, and he went on to promote them and all aspects of Irish culture as a journalist and editor. The Michael Cusack Centre, established by locals on a not-for-profit basis, is dedicated to recounting his story and his vision in founding the GAA.
Yeah, it's huge because I suppose it keeps his memory alive here, and it's a fantastic facility here, particularly for younger kids that can come here on school tours and enjoy not just the centre here but the Burren in general, and to see the terrain where Michael Cusack came from and the inspiration he was to every Clare person there afterwards.
So how did the National Michael Cusack Day come about?
We thought that Michael Cusack wasn't being recognised properly. And one day, in just a chat over things, and we decided, well, look, there's a James Joyce Day, there's a National St. Patrick's Day, there's this day, there's that day, and so on. Do you know what? Michael Cusack deserves a Michael Cusack Day.
And so his birthday, the 20th of September, was designated Michael Cusack Day. And to mark the inaugural celebration, a new stone sculpture has been commissioned.
I was asked to make a piece to something eye-catching for the Michael Cusack Centre. I thought it'd be appropriate that it was done in limestone. It's been in the Burren, so mainly represents the main sports of the camogie, football and hurling, just emerging out of the limestone. This will be the back view of it, and when you're driving into the centre, you'll be seeing this side of it, which is more like the GAA logo, the crossed hurleys and the football and the slitter on top.
Also next Sunday, the new TOMAR trust-funded GAA trail near the cottage will be opened. But Nationwide got a sneak preview.
Well, we have the 32 trees, ash trees, planted in 1984, the day of the official opening of the cottage here. And we recently added the Michael Cusack Trail, representative of each county, and information about each county here on the trail.
And with support from the Department of Rural and Community Development, Pobble, Clare County Council and the Limerick and Clare Education and Training Board, a new Going Well programme will be run from the Michael Cusack Centre.
Well, the Going Well programme is a programme developed by the GAA, and Going Well means, the WE stands for we being more important than me. So the sense of community, developing the sense of community and moving away from the individual. The LL standing for lifelong learning.
It's a great honour for me to be here today to be part of this celebration of the huge contribution made by Michael Cusack to the whole community, sporting and cultural life of not just Clare, Ireland, but indeed internationally.
As the GA, as the Michael Cusack says, as a country, we're unstoppable. And we've proved this in recent difficult times.
He epitomises that great saying, what we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others remains and is immortal.
With the football, the hurleys, the scissors, agus cuman lú clascail, so tá bóla bus mór ag dul de.
Today is his birthday, 20th of September, and let's all hope and pray that we'll all be back here every year into the future to celebrate this unique event.
Tá mí de súil me glán náisiúnta bhí híl císógain na héan bblion a seo amach. Agus tá daoine ann a dearan go bhfuil man fór imithe inis ó éilear a chuman lút le scéal. Ach go dain féin tá mí de dírig an fehulád a bhean fór ach go háirithe a churneis I lár an éananig agus ceúra a dhéanamh ar an léach seo.
Tá leige ád úntaach fáce ag míthalla císóg. I ngach paróiste ar fud na tír agus ar fud an dain. Tá firn imána, agus firn comógíochta, agus firn pelle, agus tá muinte na héan an a bhródúil a sin.
Michael Cusack was married to Margaret Woods, and 5 or 6 of their children survived into adulthood. He died in Dublin in 1906 at the age of 59. But his legacy lives on.
Cusack, of course, was a very, very complex person, and he was a dreamer, he was a teacher, he was a journalist, he was an editor, a real ball of energy. But Cusack was more than that, okay? He understood the connection as an educator between the mind and the healthy body, and even in his own academy he put an emphasis on physical well-being and mental well-being, as well as the academic work that was happening in the academy. So in many respects, he was before his time. He understood the connection between both, and of course the national pastimes as a way to express our own national identity, and the greatest expression of our national identity of all, of course, being the language and hurling, fitte futa, interconnected le chéile. Cusack understood that.
Could anybody else name anybody in the country, ever, who has so many people in every little parish, in every little corner of the 32 counties of our beautiful Ireland to have established something like that? And not alone in Ireland, but all over the world, in places like the States, in Milwaukee, and in England, and all over. There are teams in Australia, they're everywhere. And I mean, you have Cusack Park in Ennis, you have Cusack Park in Westmeath, and you have the Cusack Stand and so on. He's a legend.
Amid all the preparations, the local community gave Nationwide a very special welcome. However, there's a recognition that in these COVID times, celebrations are different.
Well, of course, September is synonymous with the GAA. And while we may have lost all our All-Ireland finals in September, we're hoping that the first National Michael Cusack Day on the 20th of September, the day of his birth, will replace to some extent in the national psyche the importance of Cusack, the importance of the humble beginnings and everything that the GAA is about.
We're trying to showcase the Cusack, the genius that he was, the proud man that he was, the great leader that he was, a man of vision that could see things years ahead. And now, right now, this year, his vision is coming to be a reality, and we're fierce proud of that.